What's going on, y'all? Bulletproof Blambo here, back with another video. Biggest, baddest fight channel on YouTube, your one-stop shop for everything fighting and fitness. And today we going over Arman Tsarukyan reacting to Topuria, ducking him, don't want to fight him, avoiding a fight with him. I mean, we've been going over this the past couple weeks, but I want to dial back in, bro, because something tells me that this whole thing is going to come full circle and Ilya's going to have to end up fighting Arman Tsarukyan anyways, bro. You know, if Arman keeps winning, if the cards align, you never know, you know. But the real question is, how does Arman Tsarukyan feel about Ilia Topuria avoiding a fight with him? We about to find out.
Pick 'em up. Take them to the moon, to the fucking thing. I'm riding through New York, finna go and shoot New Jersey up. Tryna take my chain, they ain't going. We gon' come and blow New Jersey up. You want something? Hurry up, Try to rob, bitch, me 30'd up. Just left volcanoes, bitch, I'm curried up. Cheese in my pockets, velvet up. Hey, I'm a gorilla.
Alright, man, let's get straight into it. I want to go over these Twitter posts from Arman Tsarukyan, man, because he really lets us know in these posts how he's feeling. We went over the interview a few days ago that Ilya had where he was talking about how he wants to fight Paddy Pimblett and then move straight up to fight Islam. Arman Tsarukyan saw this post and he said, could it be any more obvious that El Pato, or El Puto, I think that's what he means, is doing everything in his power to avoid fighting me? I think it's pretty obvious to me, bro. When you take into consideration the fact that Arman Tsarukyan was supposed to then fight for the title, yeah, I get it. He backed out of the fight with Islam. I think that heavily influenced what's going on. But, bro, you know, I think he's still deserving, bro. You know? He's still deserving. He's finishing guys. What more do people want him to do? And then he says, Ilya's fall off is wild. From El Matador to El Puto. And now, all the way to El Patetico and El Panocha. I don't even know what any of that means, bro. And I'm not even going to look it up. But I'm sure it's something derogatory, bro. Because that's all Arman Tsarukyan has been doing is calling Ilia Topuria out of his name. But when they see each other in person, Ilya don't want to check him. He want to check Paddy Pimblett. He want to check all these different guys in person. Boy, it's Arman Tsarukyan hiding in the crowd. Like it's like he playing Assassin's Creed or something, bro. You know, he ducked off from the crowd, bro. We seen it firsthand. We went over it. Then he's saying, make it make sense. I mean, bro, he's not lying, bro. You know, he's not lying. This is all facts. By Arman Tsarukyan. This is all facts. You know, you can't make any of this stuff up. Could it be any more obvious that El Puto is doing everything in his power to avoid fighting me? I mean, he couldn't have put it any better. He couldn't have worded it any better than that, bro. You know, and that's all you really need to say. That's Arman Tsarukyan beating the hell out of somebody in his profile picture. I respect Arman Tsarukyan, bro. He's talking his stuff. You know, he's letting the words fly. We just got to see that fight by now, bro. You know, I think the Paddy Pimblett fight is a crazy fight, too. I do not want to see him fight Justin Gaethje. I don't even know why Justin Gaethje got, you know. I guess UFC, they want to keep Justin Gaethje around. He keeps threatening retirement. They're like, whatever, give him a title fight. But at some point, it's kind of like, bro, like, what do we do? What are we doing, you know? What are we doing, bro? All right, let's get straight into this interview, man. We got an interview from Arman Sarukian on the Area Hawani show, and they cover everything in all of what we fans want to know regarding Arman Sarukian's thoughts on not being placed in that title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. He's not even the backup fighter, bro. You know, we need to really hear what he thinks about this whole thing, bro. We really need to hear, because if I'm wrong and Arman Sarukian doesn't give a damn, then hey, it is what it is. But if I'm right, hey, we'll see, bro.
Any time to start the show, of course, main event, Arman Sarukian, first fight since UFC 300. First win since April of 2024. Had the grappling matches, but we wanted to see him back, and what a performance. He's kind enough to join us right here and now to talk about this performance. So excited to see him. There he is. Hello, Arman. How are you, my friend?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Where are you right now?
I'm in Dubai right now.
No, but this is a very nice place. Where is this, a hotel?
Yeah, it's hotel. It's hotel.
It looks like not even a scratch on your face. It looks like you haven't even been in a fight.
No, yeah, nothing. Just clean face, and so I'm so happy I didn't get any damages, and I'm healthy, and can jump into the next fight as soon as possible.
Arman, as you know, we've had a few performances lately in the UFC where there's been dominant wins by a grappler, but not a finish.
You know, here's one thing I want to say, bro, real quick. You gotta put respect on that, bro. It's the little things about this fight game that you gotta peep, and when you peep it, you gotta, oh shoot, that he really did that, bro. Think about how many people besides Islam Makhachev who have fought Dan Hooker and like really just walked through him, bro. Like essentially like just lifted tail to tail without a scratch on their face. That does not happen, bro. Ever. Nobody just fights Dan Hooker and ekes through him like that, bro. Or just pile drives through him. Usually people eke through, bro. It's a war, bro. It's Dan Hooker we talking about. Unless you land a flurry or a lucky punch and get him out of there early, bro, you're not going to just walk through Dan Hooker, bro. That does not happen, bro. It's going to be a war. You got to put respect on Arman Sarukian for doing that, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying, oh, well, if we give Arman Sarukian the title shot, you know, we're not going to get exciting fights. Bro, Arman Sarukian is the most exciting fighter at 155 pounds, bro. Without a doubt, bro. His ground and pound is vicious. His wrestling is vicious. He's gotten way better with the stand-up. Just knocked out Beneil Dariush before, you know, in his last fight before Dan Hooker. You cannot keep ignoring, or we cannot keep ignoring Arman Sarukian, bro. We can't do that. We just can't do that, bro. You can't. Your reasoning can't be, oh, he's not an exciting fighter, because he is, bro. Because he is, bro. You know, people aren't saying that about Paddy Pimblett when he went 3 rounds with Tony Ferguson. And Tony Ferguson got finished by who? Bobby Green. He got finished by Michael Chandler. Like, yes, Paddy Pimblett's last fight against Michael Chandler was good. It was good, bro. But I honestly think that Paddy Pimblett's was better because he did it smoother, bro, with no damage. He acquired no damage, bro. Literally, no damage.
And the fans have been upset about that. Did you want to show your dominance on the mat, but also get the finish to prove that you are not like everyone else, that you are going to finish fights?
You know, I'm supposed to finish him. If I beat him by decision, nobody gonna say this guy is deserve fight for the title, or you know, people could say like, you couldn't even stop Dan Hooker. How you wanna beat Topuria. So that's why my goal was go there, finish him, ground and pound, TKO, submission, anything but finish. And before fights, I said it's gonna be in the second or third round.
Taking a step back, we'll get to the fight in a moment. As far as the build-up to the weigh-ins, Obviously, I know what happened in January had nothing to do with the weight cut, but it happened on the morning of the weigh-ins. Were you nervous? Was it like a cloud hanging over your head? Did you feel relief once you made weight, everything was okay, and then it was on to the fight?
Scribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch this. It'll change your life. Raise your hand.
Yeah, of course. But last time I was back up, I met the weight, and people started to say, "Oh, this guy can make weight," and they didn't know that I have I never had a problem with my weight cut. I'm always professional, and I'm not super big for 155, and I can make a weight not easy but not too hard. I don't struggle with the weight cut, and so and for this camp, I didn't think like about fans and about. I just was focused on myself and for my. I mean, I if you eat the second time, it's gonna be hard to pull off.
At the ceremonial weigh-ins, you headbutted him, and this drew some criticism. The likes of Max Holloway and other fighters said this wasn't very smart. The fight could have gone canceled. You could have got hurt. He could have gotten hurt. Why did you do this?
I mean, I if you ask me now, that was my fault. That was a big mistake. I shouldn't do that. But you can't control yourself, Especially me. I don't know.
What's up, guys? Brett Okamoto from ESPN, joined by the number one ranked UFC lightweight, Arman Zarukian. He is the number one ranked lightweight. He is not involved in the interim title fight next month, so obviously we're going to talk about that. Let's get right down to business, Arman. I mean, you go get that flawless victory over Dan Hooker. You leave Qatar, you head over to Dubai.
And this is something I want to say, bro, real quick. You cannot ignore the fact. You cannot ignore what Arman Sarukian did, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody in the UFC that just walks through Dan Hooker. Unless you land like a lucky punch in the beginning on some Michael Chandler shit, there's no way you're going to walk through Dan Hooker, bro. It's always going to be a war every single time. People can say what they want about Dan Hooker. He's ranked for a reason. He's proven. He's got tremendous kickboxing. He's got finishing capabilities. That's not an easy fight for anybody, bro. 9 times out of 10, you fight Dan Hooker, you're going to feel it, bro. You're going to feel those shin bones. You're going to feel them elbows. You're going to feel them punches, bro. That's a hard fight for anybody, bro. Look at when Dan Hooker fought Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is 2 times Arman's size. And Arman walked through him. Look at Gamrot. Gamrot arguably, he's one of the best grapplers, one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. And Arman he literally walked through him, bro. You don't see that at all from Dan Hooker fights, bro. You just don't. People eke by Dan Hooker, bro. No one's just finishing Dan Hooker, bro. Put some respect on Arman Sarukian's name, bro, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Arman Sarukian is, if he gets a title shot and wins a title, we're not going to get exciting fights, bro. Arman Sarukian is the most exciting fighter at 155, bro. Besides Ilia Topuria, because Ilia Topuria just got there, we still got to see what type of time he's on. Besides Ilia Topuria, Arman's the guy, bro. Who's next? Paddy Pimblett? You could say Justin Gaethje, but we all know Justin Gaethje, he hasn't fought, bro. He has not fought. His last fight was literally Fiziev, somebody he already beat. Then before that, it was Max Holloway. He got knocked the hell out, bro. Bro, we need to stop the cap, bro. This is turning into influencer, I don't know, bro. It's not about rankings anymore. It's about who the UFC respects the most and wants to have a title shot. Which is cool if you come out and tell the fans that, but you get it that's just once you start tying in the rankings and all this extra BS, bro, it's bro, what's the purpose of it then? You might as well just do away with the rankings at this point, bro. Literally, you might as well just do away with the rankings, bro. In this interview with Brett Okamoto, we gonna figure out the truth. That's for damn sure, bro. We're going to figure out the truth.
And about 4 or 5 days later, the UFC comes out and announces an interim title fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Did you know? Were you given sort of a heads up, or how did you find out about this on Thursday?
I already knew that Paddy gonna fight with Topuria in January. So, but I didn't know they're gonna do interim title versus Gaethje and Paddy. But I knew that UFC wants to do Ilya versus Paddy, and on my mind, I didn't think like if something happened, even if I knock him out, because they already set up that all things. But at the end of the day, Ilya didn't fight, and I think this is UFC game plan. It's not like family issue or something. It's they want to make star Paddy Pimblett and to bring him to fight for the title with Topuria as a bigger name and make it like a big fight, like kind of Khabib versus Conor, but they're not even if he got the belt.
Question for you. How much is a college football field goal worth? 3 points or donations to scholarship funds from Wall State? The answer is both. Thanks to all.
So how did you know? How did you know that Ilya? I mean, obviously it was all over the internet, rumored, but
I mean, rumors, managers, they already know that they want to make the fight, Ilya versus Paddy. I already knew that 4 or 5 months ago.
yeah. So then, when it became Justin, did you find out like when the UFC announced it? Did you get any kind of heads up prior to that?
2 days before.
Okay, so you didn't know about the Gaethje thing as well.
I got stressed. I got stressed 2 days before, 1 day before when they announced that fight.
So
but I still couldn't believe. I thought like no way. I thought like it's not gonna happen. But they told me no, it's gonna happen. Like be ready. Like don't get stressed. Because it is what it is. And it's a business. So and at the end of the day, I have the same goal, and I'm going to train next week and get better. And they know, everybody knows I'll beat everybody, and they just it's just time, Okay.
Bro, that sucks, man. Basically, what he's saying is he knew before the announcement that this was the way that the ball was rolling, bro. So probably his management team probably let him know, look, bro, they're not planning on giving you a title shot anytime soon, bro. They're gonna run with the Gaethje versus Paddy. That sucks, man, because Arman knows he could beat everybody. I feel as though he could beat everybody in the division. Bro, that really does suck, bro. That really does suck. I feel bad for Arman Tsarukyan. He coming off this crazy good win. You are literally the number one contender, bro. This is what the rankings is supposed to be all about. You gotta achieve number one contendership, bro. How many times have we seen Colby Covington be the number one contender and get multiple title shots, bro? You know what I'm saying? How many times have we seen, Yuri Prochazka? He was a number one contender. Got 2 title shots in a row. Or he got a title shot, won a couple fights, came back, won, It's just crazy because usually the number one contender, they get rebirthed. Even if they lose a title shot. Arman didn't even lose his title shot. He just didn't show up for it. I guess that's worse. But it's like, dang, bro. They played you, dog. They played you. I'm sure the UFC has their own plans for Arman Tsarukyan. But it's just crazy to me that there's no talks coming from the UFC about Arman Tsarukyan getting a title fight or being a backup fighter. Or, how Dana is. Oh, this fight's for the number one contender, getting the title shot next. Well, he already is the number one contender. You know, Dana usually promises guys, oh, if you finish this guy, you get a title shot. There's none of that for Arman Sarukian, bro. There's none of that. It's crazy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This got to be like one of the very few times the number one contender gets like straight up ignored by the UFC, bro.
It's gonna be in the summer or whatever, but they know I could beat everybody. That's why they didn't give me title fight there. Hey, Paddy, for me, it's a easy work. Justin, it's a easy work.
Easy work.
It was a hard work. Islam, but he left. So
Easy work. What's up? Let me just run it. Let's get it in, bro.
When you get
Arman literally saying that's easy work. Run me my fades, bro. Run me my fades. I don't care. Paddy, Justin, Arm, like Islam. I mean, bro, I'll fight anybody. Ilya. This is who we need as a title, bro. Bro, let me ask y'all a question. Is Ilya Topuria talking like this? Is Ilya Topuria talking like this? Is Ilya Topuria saying I'll fight anybody? No, he's not saying he'll fight Arman. He's not saying that, bro. When he gets in his interviews, it's I'm not interested in Paddy, and then I want to go up. He ain't calling out everybody. He ain't talking about he want to fight Dan Hooker. He ain't talking about, bro, I guarantee you, Dan Hooker and Ilya Topuria fought, it would be a way tougher fight for Ilya, bro. There's a lot of guys at 155, I think, will give Ilya a run for his money because he's small, bro. He got to fight harder, bro. That's just facts. That's just facts, bro. Hey, y'all get y'all weights out, man.
that news,
Y'all get y'all weights out. We not just watching content. We getting better at the same time.
life, man. And I mean, obviously, all UFC fighters are very dedicated people, but you are even looked at more so than that. That like you live this, you are so disciplined with it. So then to find out that this interim title fight is going to two other guys when there's a one next to your name, what has the last few days been like in your mind?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard because it's your goal. Why like a bullshit guy like a Paddy beat like a he beat just one rank number 12 and like they made a fake ranking and put him on the 5 and it's a business, it's not just a sport. So they can do whatever they want to do, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be a champion. It's just time, the difference of the time, beginning of the year or and the end of this year. But it's hard. I don't know how to say, how to explain, but it's a hard because I deserve to fight for the title.
You feel yourself irritated more at Ilya or at the UFC? Like you feel like the UFC has its own plan?
Don't say UFC, bro.
I mean, he could speak up and say he wants to fight you. He hasn't done that. Which one do you feel sort of more irritated towards?
I don't know. Maybe he's not ready for the January. That's why he's not in good shape. That's why, or the UFC just say, please leave the title and but we're gonna pay you more in June. Just let Paddy win the fight, and we're gonna make it big fight for you.
It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and.
So you guys have off the bat, but just to clarify, you think
the craziest thing about all of this, bro, is like it's like we all realize that Arman Sarukian will probably get the belt eventually, whether it's because Ilya moves up or this, that, and third. But one thing that's probably not going to happen is we're not going to see him. And that's the most, like, crushing part about all this, bro. We're not going to get to see Arman fight the guys we want to see him fight, bro. We're probably not going to get the Arman versus Ilya. We're probably not going to get Arman versus Paddy. And if we do get that fight, it's going to be, like, next year this time. It's just so crazy how combat sports work, bro. Like, sometimes you get to fight exactly the fights that you want to see, but then other times you don't get the fight. You don't get the fight at all, bro. Or you're going to have to wait, like, a year and a half just to see that fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks, bro. It honestly does. It sucks, bro.
This was all by the UFC's plan, and
yes, for sure.
And it's all in a way to just build Paddy. That's what you think this is about.
Yes, it's a business to build Paddy and make him easy fights. But I hope Justin gonna beat his ass, kick his ass, and we're gonna forget about Paddy all our life.
If they wanted to build him, why wouldn't they just put him straight into the title fight with Ilya?
They already did.
They tried.
They gave him easier because they know he's gonna lose to Ilya. Better like to do interim title and make something like a bigger than, because if he has no title, he's fighting for the title. He's not that big, but when he gonna be, I hope he's not gonna be a champion, but like UFC think he's gonna be a champion and he's gonna fight for the real belt with Ilya. That time he's gonna be superstar and they can sell more pay-per-views or whatever they do.
Bro, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, bro, this might actually be, bro, I just seen in the future, bro. Listen to me for 1 second. Imagine if Ilya Topuria actually loses to Paddy Pimblett, bro. If Ilya Topuria actually loses to Paddy Pimblett, this would literally, like, you know how in Avengers Endgame when they went back in time and fixed everything and then they whooped Thanos' ass and just, chopped his head off? Bro, can you imagine, bro, if Ilya Topuria actually loses to Paddy? Then the whole timeline gets reset, bro. Then Ilya Topuria would have to fight Arman Tsarukyan, bro. That's the only way this happens. That's the only way that we see. So basically, we gotta pray and put all our marbles on Paddy Pimblett to beat Ilya Topuria. Not because I don't like Ilya Topuria. I think Ilya Topuria would make a way better champion than Paddy Pimblett. But just so we can see these fights, bro. Ilya Topuria can always go back down to 45. He can always win another belt. But if we want to see the fights we want to see, Ilya Topuria has to lose, bro. Ilya Topuria has to lose. He has to, bro. So I don't know if somebody needs to, like, slip a couple banana peels backstage, bro. Make it happen before that Paddy Ilya fight, bro. Because we all know Paddy is going to wash Justin Gaethje, bro. He's probably going to submit him first, second round. But in order for us to see the Arman versus Ilya fight, which is the fight we actually want to see, Ilya has to lose to Paddy. If Paddy gets knocked out cold, we're not gonna see the Arman Tsarukyan fight, bro. Ilya's gone. He's moving up to welterweight. Nah, I'm done. I just knocked out Paddy. I just knocked out. I'm good. I want to fight Islam now. They're gonna give him that fight. They're gonna give him that fight, bro. That's the only way the timeline gets corrected, bro. It's the only way.
And real fighters like me just watching and waiting our time, And I just talked to a couple guys. I'm gonna do wrestling fights, just stay busy, stay in shape. If something happens, just let me know. I have a lot.
Bro, what is this, bro?
And
now, bro, gotta go do wrestling.
My body and
like, come on, bro.
Should be good everything.
We've seen you weigh in as a backup for a title fight before. Would you ever weigh in? Is there a world in which you would back up an interim title fight?
Of course you would, bro.
No way.
What?
Unless if they pay good money, I'm not gonna be backup. But I'm gonna train just in case if something happened before 2-3 weeks, so I can jump in. I gotta take the risk.
You said that they owe you a big fight, and I would agree with you because, like you said, it's not just like pushing your schedule back a little bit. It could push it back by like a year if by the time this interim fight happens and then the June fight happens or the summer. So they owe you a big fight. Do you see any big fights?
I hope they could give me they're supposed to give me a BMF title at least. Because what they gonna give me? Who we have in our division to fight for me? If it's not Holloway, there is no names. Charles Oliveira too. I mean, it don't make sense if they wanna see him losing the game. No problem, but just we just gotta. They gotta take care of their legend. Don't put them against the killers.
You said earlier that you hope Gaethje goes out there and beats him, and we never have to hear about Paddy anymore. Well, wouldn't you kind of like the opportunity to be the one to do it to him, like to beat Paddy?
Yeah. Oh my God. The same. Like I would just maul his face on the ground just with my elbows. Even when I fought with Hooker, I was thinking, what should I do when I was on the top? Should I choke him or I just should like elbow him? And I just speak, okay, no problem. Let's finish this fight. But with Paddy, never go. I'm not gonna for the choke. I'm gonna just elbow him all day, all night. Just make his face like bleeding.
Planning to publish your book? You could reach 3 billion more readers. If you've written a
I gotta leave a lot of marks on his face. That's my goal.
What do you think is going to happen in
Oh
that
my
Gaethje
goodness.
Paddy fight?
I hope
That's another fight I would not mind seeing happen. But that's another fight I would not mind seeing happen. But I think we all want to see the Arman versus Ilya fight more than the Paddy fight, bro. Arman versus Paddy. I know Arman has plans of mauling Paddy on the ground, but it's like, bro, for what, bro? Go for straight for the title. Go straight for the title, bro. Go for the jugular, gang. Like, bump all that Paddy noise, bro. Bump all that Paddy noise. Unless he wins the title, bro, I'm not trying to see you maul his face. I want to see you maul Ilya's face, bro, because Ilya's the one that's been doing all the talking. Either Ilya gonna maul you or you gonna maul Ilya, bro. One or the other. I'm here for it, bro.
Justin Gagey not gonna drink, party, gonna train, dedicate himself, be focused. It's his last chance in this life. He's fighting he was fighting for the title maybe 5 times. So this is his chance, and the end of his career, win the interim title, fight for the real title, and then retire. That's the best for him. And I'm gonna Justin, if you need the help, let me know. I'll fly to you and help you.
Really?
I mean, I want him to win, and that bullshit guy, I hate him. He's such a just I don't know how to explain. When you're an amateur fighter, you can buy judges. You can buy judges with an amateur fight, and when like 4 guys fighting with a rich kid who someone paid for the judges and he winning always. It's happened in the amateur sport. If you know, I don't know about amateur sport like a wrestling or boxing. It's the same. He has like a followers or whatever, or his country is big, or I don't know. You see, likes him so much, or he's selling, or what he's doing. I don't know. So he got his title fight because of that.
Yeah, and you hold that against him, like not against like the system and the the way that the game works. There's a saying that like don't hate the player, hate the game. But you hold it personally against Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, I hate just Paddy. I hate Paddy. I wish it was Oliver fighting with a Gage or someone different, but not Paddy. I hate that guy.
If Justin, like you said, and I'm sure he will take it very seriously, and he will come in shape. I know he's a little older, obviously 37 years old, but like stylistically, how do you see the fight going?
I mean, Justin sometimes he fights so good, sometimes so bad. Hopefully, he's gonna overstrike him on the feet with his boxing and kicks, and then Paddy gonna try to wrestle him, and he's gonna defend his wrestling and win by decision. But we win by decision, Gagey.
One last thing I'll ask you is that you and Ilya sort of crossed paths, and then there was this thing that he referred to as a slap, which kind of surprised me because when you call it a slap online, but then there's a lot of video coming out about it, and I'm not trying to get in the middle of this. Like I would say this to Ilya, it's strange to me that he would refer to it as a slap when it clearly wasn't.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of video.
That's bullshit.
What do you feel like is the dynamic between you two? And like in your heart, do you feel like you will face him someday? Like you feel like that fight is inevitable, or are you really not sure between you and Ilya?
Oh, that fight is gonna happen for sure. If he's not gonna retire, that fight is gonna happen for sure. My goal to beat him.
I think that fight will definitely happen, but it ain't gonna be no time soon, bro. That's what Arman needs to understand. It ain't gonna be no time soon. That ship is sailed, bro. It was either now or never. And I think Arman Sarukian should have pushed for that fight even harder. As soon as he won Dan Hooker, he should have been on Twitter, on Instagram, in every interview calling out Ilya Topuria. He did not take advantage, bro. He did not take advantage. He too worried about hating Paddy so bad, like, bro, go straight for the jugular. Go for the title, bro. Why are you why are you even talking about Paddy Pimblett, bro? You should be telling Brett, like, look, Brett, I don't even want to talk. I don't like Paddy. I don't even want to talk about him. Let's talk about Ilya. I want to talk about Ilya, bro. Because there's still a chance if something happens to Justin Gaethje, you can step in and fight Paddy and then fight Ilya. You get to kill two birds, one stone. But he's over here talking about some, oh, I don't want to be the backup fighter because, only if they pay me a lot and like, bro, you got to be way more open-minded than that in a situation like this, bro. You got to be willing to capitalize off your last win, bro. You're the number one contender, bro. You should be plotting, bro. You should be plotting on your next move. Not just like, oh, I'm going to go do some wrestling competitions. Like, bro, you sounded kind of like not hungry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time for call-outs, bro.
As well, so. And about the slap and everything, he just made himself like a bullshit guy. He shouldn't do that because he did bad for him, not for me. Because everybody's laughing at him. Everybody's laughing what he's just posted, like he slapped me, bro. Like, yeah. I have no words to say to him.
Well, listen,
You know what they
He's a bullshit guy.
They send me on my on my Instagram, and he's slapping his brother, his coaches, his like training partners. He's like hugging everybody to the neck, and like everybody is posting, "Oh, you slapped your brother."
Yeah.
He's a bullshit guy.
He's obviously a phenomenal fighter, a phenomenal champion.
Yeah.
Some of his trash talk, that one surprised me because you can't say you slapped someone if there's a lot of video out there of you just holding his neck. But maybe it was just to get under your skin. Who knows? But I know that you're disappointed about the title fight, but life still looks good over there. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you about is just the support. I have seen a lot of.
All right, man. That's it for the interview, guys. Those are Arman Sarukian's thoughts, bro. He hates Paddy, and as far as Ilya, he's a bullshit guy, but he thinks the fight's still gonna happen. I personally do not think the fight's going to happen anytime soon. It could happen in the future, but so many things are gonna play out in the next year and a half, bro. There's just like no way of telling if that fight's gonna happen now, bro. There's no way of telling. Honestly, bro. Arman could lose a fight. Like, bro, like Paddy could be Ilya, or Justin could be Ilya. Like, there's so many things that could happen to where, like I said, if in order for the timeline to get reset, realistically, Paddy would need to be Ilya. Then we for sure would see the Ilya versus Arman fight. But that's just like so much that has to happen, bro. Like, somebody could get injured in the Justin versus Paddy fight. Then it's like, we don't know when Topuria is gonna come back. That's realistically the only way we're going to see that fight. Is if Paddy walks through Justin Gaethje without a scratch on him, which I highly doubt is going to happen. He's going to get injured some way, somehow. And then goes up to fight Ilya, beats Ilya. Then Ilya gets knocked out the title picture. Then he has to fight Arman to crawl back into the title picture. There's just a lot that has to happen, bro. I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts down below. Y'all think Paddy Pimblett is going to walk through Justin Gaethje, then beat Ilya, and then we'll get to see the Ilya versus Arman fight? Or do you think Ilya Topuria will remain supreme? He's going to beat Paddy or beat Justin, whoever wins that interim title fight, and then move up, and then he's gone up to welterweight to fight Islam. But yeah, man, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, stay positive, stay motivated, stay inspired, baby. Bah.